just so you
Okay.
know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if
Yeah.
you want to let the world know what's
Well,
going
I
on.
mean, so some people have probably figured it out by that. If you follow closely on social, you figured it out. But let me.
That's awesome. You can start helping me with some of the social media stuff and getting it
Oh
out
yeah,
there. I've been
yeah. I'd
pushing
love
it
to.
hard on Twitter. We've gained about like 250 followers in the last like couple of months.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's been crazy, but it's good though. It's crazy because I haven't gained like that many Instagram followers, but I've gained like close to 50 within the last like month or so.
Yeah, like my first year on Instagram was just like boom, 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 constant people sending me friend requests, and now I get like one every 2 weeks probably.
Yeah, I mean I think it really depends on what social platform you prefer.
Yeah, I don't really like Facebook and Instagram. I mostly stick to Twitter.
Yeah, Facebook's a cesspool anyway.
Yeah, and they're trying to change their name too, because they're just like everybody hates Facebook. So they're like, oh, we'll just change the name. Like, okay, that's just kind of like you can change the name of a turd. You can call a turd, as something else, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still a turd.
If it looks like a turd and smells like a turd, it's a turd.
It's a turd.
Well, the thing is, like, I was reading an article about it today. Even some of the higher ups in Facebook don't know what the new name is. It's only Zuckerberg and maybe like a very select few know it.
Zuckerberg, dude,
Right.
He is a supervillain in the making. Like I could see him like this is his supervillain origin story. Is
Oh, 100%.
I'll get you, super fools.
The the enabling of misinformation, bad behavior, and the decline in mental health of teenagers.
Yeah,
is what sparked his becoming a supervillain.
Yeah, he's got a.
Because I can't imagine like being in high school with social media.
Dude, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I didn't have to deal with that stuff while I was in high school.
Because at least whenever if you got treated like shit at school, when school was done, you were away from it.
Yeah.
With social media, you're not away from it.
24 hours a day. No way.
Yeah.
No way, sir. I'll pass.
Nope.
But I got all my tabs open, and I'm good to go. If you are, all my levels are up.
Yep, I've got all the tabs open too, so I'm all set.
All right. Let me just make sure I got everything good to go. Oh, wait. I need to tweet it out that we're live real quick. We are live and talking. Hashtag. Got to use your hashtags. Got your gaming news.
Don't you mean the pound sign?
Yeah, the pound sign. Review of Savage Halloween.
Or as Johnny Lawrence calls them, hash browns.
Yeah. When does that new season come in?
December 31st.
Sweet.
I cannot wait. I think that show is really freaking good.
Oh, I love it.
Let's see.
This is the last season, though, isn't it? This is the final season.
They've already confirmed a fifth one. I think the fifth one will be the last one. Because I mean, I don't know. Like we could spend a whole podcast talking about what I think is going to happen with that story. So
yeah,
we'll save that for another time.
We'll do a round table on it. We've gotten a lot of good feedback about the round table that we did last night so far.
Good. No, I thought I hate that I had to keep ducking in and out of it, but
that's all right.
From what
it was for a good reason.
Yeah, but yeah, I had a lot of fun.
But we're good to go if you are.
Yes, sir.
Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Greetings, programs. We are back for another episode of the Nerd Cave Retro Show. My name is Jason Robbins.
And my name is Derek Diamond.
And so how has your week been?
Well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet because it's not official, but I'll just say this, that there's a very good chance that by the end of the week, I will get to do something that I have wanted to do for a long time.
Yes, we'll keep...
I'll know for sure next week.
Yeah.
So I'll unveil it there. Jason knows what it is, but it'll mean good things for this show, for
Yes.
other shows I do. So it's a good thing.
If
I'll
you're
just say
tired of Derek not being here during the summer, a little too close to the bone there. A little too close.
No,
to the bone.
it's all good. I liked it.
But I
was
noticed I was on the Switch last night and playing some Metroid Dread, which I picked up this last weekend. I'm very much enjoying it. I would like for you to pick it up too, so we can do a dual review of it. And I've been playing the hell out of that. But I saw Derek Diamond online, and it said Castlevania, the
Castlevania Adventures.
Yeah, Adventures. So how did you like that?
So I got the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. It was on sale for like maybe $5.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been cheaper than that. I can't entirely remember, but I saw it. And when I saw it was on sale, I had to get it because of all the games that are with it. So I was scrolling through it, and then I was like, oh, wait, I forgot there were Castlevania games for the Game Boy. Yeah. One being Castlevania Adventures. And in about 5 minutes, I was like, this game sucks.
Yeah, I do not like the Game Boy Castlevania games.
And I was thinking of actually, like, in my mind, I was like, oh, this will be what I can review for next week because it's Halloween week. But I can't do it. I got to review something good for Halloween.
You thought the original NES games had tank controls? Those Game Boy games are rough.
It's like your character is wearing, like, cinder blocks for shoes because you jump about, for those that are watching the video version, about this high up and you drop like that.
Yeah.
It's brutal. And whenever you use the whip, it's like using Donatello in the original Ninja Turtles game.
It's so slow.
Oh my God. It's bad. So play the other games.
Yeah.
But stay away from the Game Boy.
All the other games are great, but man, those Game Boy games are a little rough these days.
Yeah. So what I'll review next week is still to be determined. Okay. But we'll see. I do plan on picking up Metroid Dread this weekend and start playing it. So really excited for that. But other than that, I'll say, and it has to do with what we were talking about earlier, it's been kind of a whirlwind of a week. There's been a lot of changes in a very short amount of time, but all good things.
Yeah.
But once it's official, I will throw it out there. But how's your week been?
It's been good. Like I said, I've been playing a lot of Metroid Dread. Played the game I'm going to be reviewing tonight. Picked it up for sale like a week and a half ago on the Switch store. I think it's still on sale through the month of October. Savage Halloween, which you can pick up. It's like $2, I think, on sale. Even normally, I think it's only like $4.99, but worth every penny. But we'll get to that in a little while. And of course, we both saw Halloween Kills this last weekend. We did our round table with Mr. Joey Image and the NCR fact checker himself, Mr. Wally Phelps, last night, which is on the feed currently. So if you haven't heard it yet, when you're done with this episode, go listen to our Halloween Kills roundtable, which we've gotten a lot of good feedback for today. So if you've seen it, go listen to it. But if you haven't seen it yet, just warning, it's full of spoilers.
No, it was a great discussion. You know, I always love having Joey Image on the show. I love the tradition of having him on to discuss Halloween, and we'll do it again next year with Halloween Ends. So it's a show I look forward to every year, and this year was no exception. I loved, adding Wally to it as well.
Yeah, it was such a fun discussion. So go check it out. We just released it last night, so it's on the feed. If you're listening to this, it's on the feed right before this one, so go check it out. And that's pretty much what my week has consisted of, other than working. It's been that time of year where my job we're booked up through December when I get my 2-week vacation in December. We've never been this busy before. The thing is, we've never been this busy, but supply chains have been sketchy at best. So getting the stuff we need to fulfill these orders has become quite difficult, and it's been really busy. And I just, man, they got to figure out the supply line stuff soon in America, because the pandemic has wreaked havoc upon America. If you're listening to this in like the year 2085 or whatever, and you're listening to what was going on in 2021, lots of supply chain problems, like getting materials is almost impossible.
Yeah, I mean, we dealt with that same thing, at work this season. Like, we couldn't keep, like, a lot of our merch sold early in the year, and the store was just never fully booked because of supply chain issues. But why do you think you guys have been so busy?
I have no idea. Well, for one thing, nobody knows, I do graphic design and screen printing for my day job, and my screen printing shop is pretty much the only one in the county now, because all the other ones shut down during the pandemic, and we're the only ones operating, and we're doing everyone's stuff, from individual people wanting shirts all the way to all the local schools in the entire county are all getting stuff from us.
So I shouldn't place an order at your shop then.
Yeah, if you did, it's going to be a while before you get it. I mean, we've got people that have put in orders like back in August that are still waiting on orders, because
I believe
not only are we so busy, but actually getting the shirts in to print on is ridiculous because of the supply chain problems.
Yeah, no, I believe it.
But enough about supply chain stuff. Nobody wants to hear about that. They want to hear about retro gaming. So we want to go into the news for tonight.
Let's do it.
As usual, most of today's stories were submitted to us by Armiz Jackson and I Am the Rampage. And if you have a story you'd like us to cover, send them to nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. And Mr. Joey Image has joined us in the chat room. We were just talking about you.
Joey.
Speak of the devil. Speak of the Michael Myers. He joins us in the chat room. So, yeah.
Hey, Joey.
This first story is from... Where is this from? It is from TheVerge.com. This is our top story for this week. This is what everybody's been talking about. The Nintendo Switch Online N64 and Sega Genesis expansion pack launches October 25th for $49.99 per year, and it also includes access to the paid Animal Crossing New Horizons DLC. Nintendo announced the price and release for its upcoming Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack for $49.99 per year for an individual, $79.99 for a shared family membership. It launches October 25th, and let's see, current membership is $19.99 per year and $34.99 per year for a family subscription, and only includes online multiplayer, classic NES and SNES games, cloud saves, and other perks. The expansion pack is coming out with an N64 bundle and the Sega Genesis bundle. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's worth my money right now.
So here's the thing. I get a price increase. I really do. You're adding 2 consoles.
I was expecting like $10 maybe.
Yes. If you charge an extra 10, I can deal with it. There's one thing they can do to make it worth it, and we both know what that is. They gotta be more consistent with putting stuff out.
Yeah.
Like, they have to.
They
have to put out quality stuff on a consistent basis, whether it's bi-weekly, whether it's once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Just come up with a plan and stick with it.
Yeah.
What they're doing right now is stupid.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like, I I love the thought of playing Ocarina of Time on my Switch. It's my favorite video game of all time. Games like Star Fox, like Mario Tennis. It mentioned Banjo Kazooie. You know, everybody who listens to the show from day one knows how big a fan I am of that game. But I'm thinking twice about upgrading it because that's a lot of money. I know
Yeah,
it's annually, but it's still a lot of money.
yeah. It's going up $30 a year just to get Animal Crossing new DLC, which I'm kind of fallen off. I haven't played Animal Crossing in like a year, but the N64 and Sega Genesis stuff is not enough for me to plop down an extra $30 for the year, unless they, like you said, become more consistent with the NES and Super Nintendo stuff. If they drop Game Boy and Game Boy Advance stuff, maybe I could see a justification for $30 a year. But that online store, if I'm going to give you $50 a year, you got to fix that online store. It is the most
Yes.
horrible trash store I've ever seen. Like, Xbox blows it away. Even Sony blows it away. It's horrible. It's unwieldy. You can't find anything. It's slow. Like, I hate looking through that store on my Switch. I hate it.
What would you think of this? What if let's play fix Nintendo here for a second. What if they announced, in addition to N64 and Genesis, Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, and say like once a week or once a month they release a batch of NES and SNES games. Then the next week they release a batch of Genesis and N64 games. Then the next they release a new batch of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. That way you have something different to look forward to every week.
Yeah, or even just every month. Like even once a month, if they just came out and said we're going to add a new NES title, one new NES title, one new Super Nintendo title, an N64 title, another Genesis title, and we're going to give you Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. Like that would be enough for me. But the $50 a year, I just know that they're going to like throw this out and then they're going to forget about it. And you're not going to get any more N64 games. You're not going to get any more Sega games. You've burned me one too many times, Nintendo. I don't trust you when it comes to online stuff. They have to make drastic changes at this point for me to trust them with online stuff.
Joey says, I know it's been a while now, but it's still amazing to me to see Sega titles on a Nintendo
Oh,
console.
absolutely.
I agree. I remember when they ported, the Nintendo ported Sonic Adventure 2 from the Dreamcast to the GameCube. I thought that was so weird playing a Sonic game on a Nintendo console.
Yeah.
It's still a little weird to this day, given, you know, like we both remember, and Joey does too, the rivalry that those companies had back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, every Sega commercial was, Sega does what Nintendo don't. Like
Yep.
it was harsh back then. The console wars.
Yep.
But yeah, it's not enough for me. I'm not gonna give them my money for this. Maybe if they brought back Mario 35, which they took it away from us.
I loved that game.
I know, and they took it away. Like, Nintendo is just so untrustworthy at this point. And that, like I said, that online store, they need to just tear that thing down and start from the bottom up. Like hire somebody from Microsoft to come in and completely rebuild them a new store.
I don't disagree with that.
That thing is terrible.
Yeah, it ain't great.
Our next T Chaos Theory said in the chat room, welcome to the chat room. PlayStation took some good shots at Nintendo too. Yeah, we bring that up a lot. PlayStation, especially the old what's his name? It was Crash. Old man moment. Sorry. Crash standing outside the Nintendo building like with the bullhorn. Those commercials were great. Didn't make me want to buy a PlayStation, but I like that kind of stuff. And I'm sure Nintendo still has a good long memory. That's why we're not gonna have Crash Bandicoot in Smash anytime soon.
Yeah, well, I mean they're done with Ultimate. Sora was announced as the last character, so which is not a bad choice, but I I think it would have meant more to older fans had it been Crash.
Yeah,
That would be a good top 5 list, top 5 video game commercials.
I think so. Yeah, I like it.
We
I
should
love those commercials.
we should do that one day.
We should.
Our next story comes to us from one of our favorite sites, nintendolife.com. Analog Pocket is getting its own OS, allowing users to explore, discover, and preserve video game history. This thing actually looks kind of sweet.
I like it.
The creators of the Analog Pocket, a portable FPGA-based device compatible with the entire game library and other systems via adapters, have announced Analog OS. It's designed to be the definitive scholarly operating system for playing and experiencing the entire video game medium. With Analog OS, you can explore, discover, and play through all of history, save your game at any moment with cartridges, create and share playlists, track your gameplay, and even develop your own FPGA course to help preserve video game history. It's all for the love of video games. They must have listened to an episode of the show.
Yeah.
Explore the library everywhere. Library is a reference level database to play, explore, and share. A scholarly catalog of the entirety of video game history. Search and explore through its full breadth, system by system, game by game, region by region, developer by developer, publisher, all of it.
Wow. I love that.
How much is this thing? $200.
I think they sold out. Sold out pre-sale for all the ones that they've made so far, and I don't know if they're going to have any available until they do a second run. Because from what I've heard so far, this thing has been sold out for a while, even before it's released.
Because it says here it'll arrive in December. Interesting.
We'll see.
But this sounds great, though.
It kind of looks like it's kind of like a mix of a Game Boy and like an old school iPod.
That's honestly what I thought of too. With the first picture you see in the article, it instantly made me think of an old iPod, like a first gen iPod. I love the look of it. I think it looks sleek. It looks nice and clean. I hope they make more, because I would love to get my hands on this. Like if it does what it says, I think $200 is worth it.
Yeah, it's called the Analog Pocket. Joey's asking in the chat room. It's called the Analog Pocket, and with this thing having that OS and like a peer-to-peer sharing program, this is exactly what game preservationists want right here. Yep. I would just, man, this might be the way. This might be what we've been asking for all this time.
You said this is the way.
This is the way. I love it. Let's see. The next, let me find it here from Kotaku.com. Dragon Ball voice actor Chris Ayres dies at age 56. Perhaps best known as Frieza's English language voice actor, has passed away. Besides the iconic Dragon Ball character, Ayres also voiced Kai Kurono in Gantz and Shinjin Takeda and Sengoku Basara. He was 56 years old. He took over the Frieza role. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, it's Frieza.
I'm not a Dragon Ball Z watcher.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's Frieza.
That'll get me killed in this community. And voiced the character in Dragon Ball Super, as well as in the feature anime films Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F and Dragon Ball Super Broly. Ayres was a tremendous talent and did an excellent job with Frieza. That's sad. I mean, 56 years old, that's way too young to be passing away these days.
Oh, absolutely. No, this shook the anime community when this happened. Because, I mean, whether you're a Dragon Ball Z fan or not, it's probably the most iconic anime of all time.
This is the anime that everyone I know tells me I need to watch. And I'm just like, there's so much of it. Like, where do I even start?
It's really good. Dragon Ball Z itself, I haven't watched all of Dragon Ball, but I have watched all of Dragon Ball Z. And, Frieza is, one of the most iconic villains in that entire series because it's fighting Frieza that Goku goes Super Saiyan for the first time, which was like a big moment that they built up to, even dating back to like the early episodes of the series.
Yeah.
But Frieza was a great villain, and like you said, 56 years old is way too young for somebody to go. So,
It said in
rest in peace, Chris Ayers.
Said in 2017 he was diagnosed with end-stage chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which required a double lung transplant. Holy
that's
crap.
rough. That's awful.
That sucks. And there says Ann, I don't know what Ann is, ANN, reported that fundraisers were launched to raise $25,000 to cover the procedure. Laporte wrote, I know a lot of people are reading this will ask, is there anything I can do? Please be more like Chris. Please, if you learn anything from him, put it in this world. Please fill it with love and laughter always. May he rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I hate to say this, but it's like when you read stories like this, it makes you, appreciate life because you never know when it's all going to be over.
Yeah, exactly. So love every second, people.
Yep.
Never know when it's going to not be here anymore.
Absolutely. Our next story comes to us from NintendoLife.com. Arcade Archives publisher Hamster has filed a trademark for console archives. I love this logo, by the way. Hamster Corporation has been pumping out enhanced arcade releases since the Nintendo Switch arrived on the scene in 2017, but it might finally be time for it to take the next big step in retro preservation. According to a story over on Gematsu, the Japanese company filed a trademark for console archives in English and Japanese earlier this month on October 6th. While it's probably best not to get too excited, it seems like there's a real possibility it could be planning to re-release older console titles. It began its arcade archive service on Switch in March of 2017, and as of December last year, had over 200 consecutive weeks of delivery. Have you played any of the arcade archives?
No,
on the Switch?
I haven't. I've been tempted to get some of the stuff. I'd love to get the Double Dragon arcade version that they have. There's a lot on the Switch store that I'd like to get. I just never pulled the trigger on any of them.
They have a Super Mario Brothers one that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's been the only one that I've played, but they always grab my attention whenever I see the Arcade Archives logo attached.
Yeah, they have a lot of Neo Geo stuff that they released on the Switch too.
Mm-hmm.
It says the latest addition to the Arcade Archives collection was Rally X last week. Do you remember Rally X? I used to play that in the arcade all the time when I was a kid.
I recognize the name. I've never played the game.
Yeah, this is it's an old early 80s game right there.
Oh, I have played the Donkey Kong Arcade Archives. That one's really fun.
Yeah, you can pick that up on the Switch. They have a lot of good stuff. I've just never it's always like, well, I always find something else that pulls my attention away from whatever. Like I said, I've always wanted to get the arcade version of Double Dragon, but I always find something else to buy.
There's a link to the article that takes you to their website, and they have I'm looking through it right now, a very extensive list of arcade archives. It's insane the amount of titles that they've released.
And for our last story tonight, this comes from MakeUseOf.com. The PS5 has outsold the Nintendo Switch for the first time, and here's why. Let's see. For the first time in 33 months, the Nintendo Switch has lost its spot as the top-selling U.S. console. This streak has ended courtesy of a worthy competitor, Sony's PS5. And I don't know how this happened, because I've never seen a PS5 out in the wild to be able to be purchased. How does that happen? Let's see. According to the NPD, what is the NPD? I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure.
Series of tweets by Matt Piscatella, the PS5 was the best-selling hardware platform of September in both units and dollars. It's also the best-selling hardware platform of 2021 year-to-date in dollars, while Nintendo Switch leads in units. Let's see. The first is the electronic component shortage that's affecting the gaming industry and almost all electronic products since the start of the pandemic, which we were talking about at the beginning of the show with supply line stuff. Earlier this year, Nintendo said that it expects Switch sales to be affected by the global chip shortage after a good sales year in 2020. Despite enjoying the short-term success of Switch purchases during the pandemic, Nintendo appears to be struggling to produce enough Switches to sell, which is weird because they just dropped the OLED edition. So I don't really know. Maybe they just don't have enough. I don't know. Is the chip shortage really affecting it that much that the PS5 has just sailed past it?
I mean, it very well could be. I mean, we talked about supply chain issues at the beginning of the show. We've seen shortages with a lot of things. So if that's the reason, it wouldn't shock me at all. I mean, I hope that, once the new year hits, that a lot of that will start to resume back to normal. But I remember telling you this on the show a few months ago that I don't think we're going to see what we knew as normal until maybe end of 2022 or 2023. So it's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, Joey Image in the chat room says Nashville Police Department. I don't think they're in charge of releasing video game console numbers. I think that's a little above their pay grade.
They need to team up with the cops from Reno 911.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would love to get a PS5, but like I said, I have not seen one out in the wild since its launch.
No, I haven't either.
So how people are getting them is beyond me. Like, where are you finding them that it's outsold the Switch? I'd like to know that.
What tactics are they using to get these?
Are they paying scalpers for it? Are the scalpers swiping them up? Like, I don't understand. It said something like PS5 has sold like 10 million units or something like that. And I'm like, I have not seen one. I know Wally has one.
But he just so happened to find one?
Yeah. Joey Image says, I bought 2. You greedy.
Of course he did. Of course he did.
You greedy mother. Well, send me one. I'll give you $20 for it. You can...
well, you pay for shipping too.
Yeah, I'll pay for shipping. I'll give you $20 and then I'll cover shipping. That should be good.
So 25.
Yeah, $25 and I'll say 11 and a hug. You got it, buddy. But we don't have any this month in video game history to do for this week. But before we go into our review for tonight, Derek has shout-outs.
Yes, as always, we'd like to shout out our awesome patrons over at patreon.com/nerdcaveretro, AxeBlade07, Daniel Salmon, Armez Jackson, Hand Solo, Carlos Longoria, Staff Sergeant Sketch, Brandon Rutledge, Gus and Penny, Matthew Salmon, Mr. Joey Image himself, and Ron Johnson. Thank you all so much for your continued support and keeping the lights on here at the Nerd Cave Retro Show. And if you're a part of our Patreon, you get bonus episodes, much like our commentary tracks that we do. We most recently did Clue. We've done other movies such as Super Mario Brothers, The Wizard. We've done a ton that are in the catalog. And of course, most recently, we did our Halloween Kills Roundtable. So if you want to be a part of that and get us up to the $50 level, head on over to patreon.com/nerdcaveretro.
And I don't have any music to play for the game I'm playing tonight because there was no music on YouTube to capture. So you're going to have to imagine really awesome 8-bit chip tunes.
No, I'm kidding.
But tonight I'm talking about Savage Halloween. It was published and developed by Second Boss Game Studios, and it was released actually almost a year ago today, October 26, 2020. It is for Linux, Macintosh, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. It is a side-scrolling shooter / mashup of about 50 different 8-bit games. And it's perfect for the Halloween season. The story is in Savage Halloween, the world is taken over by monsters from the afterlife who were trapped in the earth after a Halloween party, and now they have decided to make their new home here. Every year, the monsters are invited to the big 24-hour Halloween rave, but this time, no one came home, as an evil vampire used a spell to block the passage back to the afterlife because, according to him, the party could not stop. Among the guests, James, a farmer who had his eternal rest interrupted, took his shotgun and decided to end the riot, join the resistance, and send everyone home. No one can handle so much noise, goo, and werewolf hair on clothes anymore. So you get your choice of 3 different characters to play. James, who is he's sort of the sort of Mario character. He's kind of like, a good mid-level character, because each of the 3 characters kind of have their different traits. Like James, he's kind of the good all-round character. He's the pumpkin-headed character and carries a shotgun, which you can actually get different. It's sort of like Contra. You go through and you get different power-ups for your gun. You get like bats and ghosts and things, and they all do different things. Like the bats is sort of like your spread gun. The ghosts, you shoot and they go back and forth across the screen, so you can just like go in an arc and just like fill the screen with a bunch of ghosts that are going back and forth. It's really awesome. There's like 5 or 6 different power-ups that you can get for your weapon, and there's Lulu, who is a werewolf, and he's sort of like the tank character. He's got a lot of health, but he's very slow, so he takes a lot of damage, but it's very hard to, he's a very slow character, so it's kind of a trade-off there. And then you got Dominica, who is a geek from the depths who currently wants to come home to see her favorite series. She is the daughter of the partying Dark Lord, and she's the character with little health, but she's very fast and shoots very fast. So you got your three different characters that you can choose from. And you have 7 scenarios with varied gameplay and mechanics throughout the game. So you start the game, and it's your basic kind of side-scrolling shooter like Contra, but it's got that 8-bit to 16-bit look, but it controls really well, like a modern retro game. Like it's very fast-paced and things like that. I love the shooting mechanics in the game. But as you go along, you in each stage, like right before you get to the boss, you have a mini boss. And when you get to the mini boss stage for like stage 1 is you go into a side-scrolling shooter type of scenario, almost like Gradius or something, where you're the pumpkin guy and you're like on a James, the pumpkin-headed guy, and you're like on a broom, a flying broom, and you're just going through killing everything on the screen like a side-scrolling shooter. You do your mini boss, and then you go on to the main boss of the level, and it's sort of like Mega Man mechanics, where each boss kind of has like 3 different phases. So it's all about memorization, and you go through the game sort of like that. You get different, like you get to level 2, and you get to a turbo tunnel level, like in Battletoads, to get to the mini boss of that level. So each level you go through, there's like a different sort of game mechanic from like a popular game back in the day.
So it's a nice little callback to several retro games.
Oh yeah, definitely. So if you're a fan of the NES era of games, like side scroller shooters, this game just scratches that itch. Like if you like playing Broforce and things like of that nature, this is right in that pocket.
Yeah, I'm looking at a few screen caps from it, and it you hinted at it earlier. It looks like a modern retro game. Like it has that NES, SNES look, but
yeah,
the colors are just a little bit brighter. The sprites look just a little bit more detailed, but it looks like a lot of fun. And I love the fact that it's almost a mesh of different styles of different retro games that we grew up with. So it sounds like a cool callback to that era.
And don't get scared when I say things like a turbo tunnel level, because it's not quite as bad as Battletoads. Like, it's actually doable.
Well,
But
that's good to know.
it makes it like it's what Battletoads should have been, because it's way easier than Battletoads, but not easy to the point. Like, this is a hard game, and it plays by retro gaming rules. You only get 3 continues, and if
Mhm.
you die 3 times, you start the game over again from the beginning. Like, there's no infinite continues. I mean, there might be some cheat codes. I tried to look up some cheat codes. I couldn't really find anything. So, but it's not one of those games that's so frustrating that you'll stop playing it. It's one of those games where you're just like, oh crap, I know I can do that better. So you just kind of keep doing it over and over again.
I'm gonna have to pick this up because I think you sold me on it. Like it looks really cool. I know you told me about it a few days ago, but now that I'm really seeing it and hearing you talk about it, like I want to see if it's still on sale because if so, I want to get it and play it.
Yeah, I'm
It looks great.
on let's see. It is on online. Nintendo Online right now. Let's see. Is it on here? I'm looking to see if it's still on sale right now. And QB Interactive, didn't they do the game we reviewed a couple of weeks ago that was so ridiculously freaking hard?
Oh, Agalos?
Yeah, Agalos. Didn't they do
Yeah, they did.
Agalos?
I believe so.
Okay. Now I know why this game is so hard. Because the same people that did it that made Agalos, they know how to make a hard, a quote, Nintendo hard type of
Yes.
game.
I still haven't played that game since I made it to the final boss. It scared me too much.
That game is ridiculous.
Yeah, fun, but ridiculously hard.
Yeah, it won't tell me if this game, what the price of this game is right now. It just says purchased or downloaded.
I'll look on my Switch after the show.
Okay. But even still, if it's not on sale, it's only like $4.99. So it's completely
Oh, that's nothing.
100% worth the money.
Yeah.
But if you're into games, it's like Contra, but with a Castlevania paint job on it, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got a complete Halloween feel to it. So it's perfect. It's the perfect game to play for the Halloween season. I was playing it, and it completely just made me feel like it was Halloween.
That's awesome. I gotta get it.
But like I said, if it's got different, each level has a different kind of throwback to different games. There's 7 levels in the game. There's all kind of upgrades to get to your guns. It's great. I had such a blast playing this game, and I kind of dropped off a little bit the last 4 or 5 days because of Metroid Dread. But I'm gonna go back and play some more this weekend because I still haven't finished the game because I'm still doing that fight to get through each level. I'm only up to like level 4, I think, last time I played. So I still have 3 more levels to get through. So if you like if you like that sort of grind, but it's not I don't want to say grind in a bad way. Like, it's not like you're not going to get frustrated. It's more of a, oh crap, I can do that better, and you keep going back. It's that type of grind.
But I think that's a good type of grind though. Like it just it emphasizes what a good game it is if it drives you to want to keep playing it and not like Castlevania Adventures and you just put the switch down and say screw it. So
Yeah.
what would you give this on a scale of 1 to 10?
Honestly, I would give it probably a good solid 8 out of 10.
Okay.
And yeah, it looks like the aggregate scores for this game are roughly in the 70 to 85 range. So a good 4 out of 5 stars usually. So
Yeah.
it's got a good critic score.
I dig it.
Yeah, this is a great game. I highly recommend it. If you're looking for something to play for the Halloween season, I do want to stream this at some point. Hopefully, maybe Halloween weekend, I can stream it, and hopefully I'll be able to finish the game by then and get through it. But yeah, this is a great game. I highly recommend it. 8 out of 10. It's great.
I can't wait to play it.
But you still don't know what you're doing next week yet, do you?
No, I'll figure something out. It'll be something Halloween themed.
How many
I'll
more
promise that.
Wednesdays do we have before the end of the month?
Uh, Next week's the last one.
Oh,
because,
no.
Yeah, because Halloween's on a Sunday.
Well, I was going to try to do one more Halloween-themed game, but yeah, we actually, because we missed one show this month, we're kind of pushed behind a little bit. I don't know. I may do another scary game for
Yeah,
the
why
week
not?
after. I don't see why not. There's no rules that says I
Yeah.
can't do that.
We don't need no stinking rules.
Because there's another Halloween game that I played for the Switch, and I can't remember the name of it right now. Let me see if I can Google it. Halloween games on Switch. I could go grab my Switch right now, but I don't want to do that.
You want me to blow your mind?
Yeah?
There are 10 Wednesdays left of the year.
Really?
I just counted.
Ooh. I can't believe this year went by so fast.
It's been quick, man.
Oh, here's a game I wanted to play. I'm looking up, actually, if you go to imore.com, they have a list here of the best Nintendo Switch Halloween games for 2021. I have this game in my wish list right now, and it's called Pumpkin Jack. Have you heard of this game?
I have not.
Take on the
I'm gonna look up
role
this list.
of the mythical Pumpkin Jack as you platform your way through various levels to annihilate good and perform the devil's work. I'm down. It's $30 on the Nintendo eShop right now.
Okay.
That looks like a great game. It's like you're playing like this Jack Pumpkinhead looking guy, and it almost looks like a
Yeah,
like
I see
like
it right now. It looks really cool.
yeah, it looks almost like a Devil May Cry type of game.
I can dig that. Yeah, I'll look at this list to see if maybe one of these jumps out at me, and maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, maybe we should both play Pumpkin Jack and see what we think about it.
I mean, I'm down for that.
'Cause I
If you want to
started-
do a dual review.
I'm down for that because I started playing Little Nightmares not too long ago on PS Now, and I really liked that. But man, that game started to freak me out a little bit. Have you played Little Nightmares yet?
Mm-mm.
It's something else. Let me tell you.
You have me kind of scared to play it now.
It's not. It's scary. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That game is scary.
Yeah, I'll look more at this list, but I'd be, if you want to do a dual review for Pumpkin Jack, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, I'm down for that because I've been wanting to get that game for a while. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do that, and then I can always, I can push my review back a week.
So when would that be?
Well, if you want to, let me pull up the calendar back up.
Well, let's do it in December. Let's make it a December review. 'Cause
Okay.
I think sometime next month we're supposed to be doing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic at some point. I'm doing that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Awesome. That sounds good.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I like doing the scary games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our show for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed our roundtable. If you haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. We did our Halloween Kills roundtable with Mr. Joey Image and Mr. Wally Phelps. Had a lot of fun doing that show. And Derek, what is going on with the Derek Diamond experience?
So there's a really cool interview that I'm releasing this week with a producer named Joel Soisson. He's been a producer since the 80s.
Soisson.
Soisson. He has produced little known movies like Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Ooh, that's a good
And
get.
he tells a great story of how he was hired to do a rewrite for The Lion King.
Really?
But you'll have to listen to the episode. How his reaction to it is great.
I can't wait to hear this episode.
It was a really cool chat, and the Bill and Ted story is pretty interesting too, of how that movie got to where it became as far as being a cult hit. So
Yeah.
really fun chat and really informative if you want to know like really what a producer does. If you have questions on, like, you see the producer title in credits all the time, but a lot of people don't know what a producer actually does. He does a great job of explaining it. So really fun chat on this week's show, and you can follow me on all the social medias at D Diamond Podcast.
Awesome. And also for the Open Micers podcast, last week we talked to oh man, why am I forgetting her name? I feel so old tonight because I can't remember anything. let me look up. She was in Manos Hands of Fate, and her name is
Good night, Joey.
Jackie Neiman Jones. We
Yes.
talked to last week. She was in Manos Hands of Fate, and she's taken that franchise and ran with it over the last few years. And if you're an MST3K fan, you'll definitely want to check out that episode. And just like earlier tonight, this week's episode, we do our top 5, or actually 5 simple rules for being an open mic comedian, because a lot of people don't seem to know the rules of how to act in public when they go to try open mic comedy.
I can't wait to hear that one.
So that's going to be
fun.
out this Friday.
Yep. And also, good night, TKS Theory.
Yeah. Good night, you guys. All you guys in the chat room. Good night. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and play our music here. If you would like to, if I can hear our music, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at nerdcaveretro@gmail.com. We're at nerdcaveretro.com. Facebook at facebook.com/nerdcaveretro. Instagram and Twitter at nerdcaveretro. And individually at jfunktastic and at Derek_Diamond. Go buy some stuff from us, some merch over at ncrmerch.com. We got bags and masks and t-shirts and all kind of cool stuff. Computer bags, wall tapestries. Go check them out, ncrmerch.com. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/nerdcaveretro, where you keep us above that $50 level. We keep doing the extra episodes every month. If you can't do that, can't support us with money, go leave us a review wherever fine podcasts are given away for free. So Derek, please tell them what it's all about.
May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce.
Good.
Master Blaster runs Bartertown.
That was a fun show.
It was.
Yeah, sorry my review wasn't as long as it normally is, but like it's kind of a
Pretty straightforward game.
Yeah, it's a straightforward game. So
yeah, I mean it happens to me sometimes too. So
it's one of those games
still
you're either
enjoyed
gonna
it.
love it or hate it. One of the two, and I love it because that's my genre right there.
yeah, I can't wait to play it. I'm definitely gonna check it out.
I think you'll really like it. It's definitely it's a throwback, and whenever you get to those levels where you're, especially like I hit the turbo tunnel level, I was just like, oh, this is. Like, I was scared at first. I was like, oh no, not a turbo level, but at the same time, I was like, this is awesome.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's good. I highly recommend it. It's great. I had such fun playing it last week.
Well, let me ask you this. I was thinking of maybe doing this review in November, but because it does have a horror theme to it, would you put the Ghostbusters video game in the retro category, or would you put it
Which one?
the one, I think it was for 360,
Okay.
the one with the actual, like the voice actors with like the cast coming back?
I don't see why we can't. Because I played it for the Xbox 360. I loved that game. I know they did
Yeah.
a remaster, which you can get on the Switch.
Yeah, I have it. I just haven't really dove into it.
Which I was going to say we could play the NES version, which I don't want to do. That game sucks. That game is terrible. It's like
I mean, it's been a
Fester's
while since we
Quest
reviewed a bad game.
It's Fester's Quest bad.
Ooh,
It's real bad.
real bad.
Real bad. But
But
yeah, we could do the Ghostbusters game. I'm down for that.
Also, is it Mike Eveland or Eveland from B-Res Coffee?
I think it's Evelyn because he said
Evelyn?
I pronounced it correctly, and I always thought it was Evelyn.
Okay. He's going to be joining us for the Ghostbusters Roundtable next
Cool.
month.
Actually, I forgot if anybody that's watching this, if you're watching on Twitch or if you watch this on YouTube, there's a contest going on right now at B-Res Coffee for all the content creators. If we get enough people ordering coffee, use our code NCR at checkout for 10% off. We'll win a B-Res. We'll win B-Res t-shirts if you use our code. So please go do that. Go order some coffee. They got all kind of cool stuff.
If this show and my show tie, can I double dip?
Sure. We got to re-record that commercial soon too, because the old commercial says Brez Coffee, but it's B-Res Coffee.
Yeah, I haven't fixed the one on my show yet. I feel bad for saying it, but like I forget to.
I just haven't had time.
Yeah.
I have no time to myself lately. Like I said on Open Micers earlier, like if I don't get a day off soon with nothing to do, I'm going to destroy Tokyo Godzilla style.
That would be great.
I'm just going to turn into a giant angry lizard.
Not for the people in Tokyo,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it would be kind of funny.
Well, thank you guys for watching tonight. Thank you everybody that watches this on YouTube. We will see you guys next week.